Hello and welcome to the transit version of the sleep connection talking chart, and you can immediately see that the structure is very similar to the sleep connection talking chart that you already have access to. The difference here is that we are tracking the movement of the planets relative to the connection. So whenever you open this connection transit talking chart, it will always be set to now. So you can see I'm recording this on the 29th of June 2024, and the precise time is indicated as well. So if you open this again in 6 months' time, the transit date will have changed to that point in the future. And of course the charts will be different because the position of the planets is going to be different, and how those planets affect the connection and thus the two individuals that we are looking at here. And you will remember in the regular sleep connection overview that I was talking about the profound impact that sleeping within the aura of somebody else can have, because it's not only about the two people coming together and thus the quantum of their two designs become what you are sleeping, but there is now an added complexity to that with the transit field, because whatever transit affects one person is now also going to affect the other person. And yet if they were sleeping alone, that transit would have come and gone and not affected them. So here is a good example. Beyonce Knowles on the right hand side is a reflector, so ordinarily she would have quite an easy night's sleep. It would really come down to two transits. A transit in the 20th gate or the 8th gate is going to bring definition. Sometimes you get complete channels in the transit field, but that's relatively rare because this is only a 15 gate matrix versus the 64 gate matrix of our waking design. So full channels are possible, but as I said, they're quite rare. And what has happened here is that the 8th gate is in the transit field. If you look at the activation tables here, you will see, of course, the orange and the blue. This again equates to the two individuals in this sleep connection. But you will also see purple activations. These are the transit activations at this moment in time. So you can see here in the light field that the 8th gate, the gate of darkness, is activated. It's activated through the second line, and the planet is Uranus. Now Uranus is a very slow moving planet. It can actually sit in one gate for approximately 480 days. That is just over 1 year and 3 months. And in that period it moves through the 6 lines of that hexagram. So it moves through one line approximately every 80 days, which is just over 2 months. So this 8th gate is going to be a fixture for a very long time for this particular partnership. And for Beyonce here, it's actually quite normal. She has this hanging first gate. It's looking for the 8th gate. So it is natural transit conditioning for her. But if you look at Jay-Z, this generator design, there is nothing in this channel. So all of the time they're sleeping together, Jay-Z is now getting this transit channel that he wouldn't have got if he was sleeping alone. So it's not just about the impact of the two people on each other in the connection. You also have to pay attention to the transit field, because you're going to be picking up gates and lines that were not intended for you, simply because you're sleeping in the aura of somebody else that is now triggering that in you. So if they're consistently sleeping together, Jay-Z is now going to get this energy of darkness, plus the first gate, which is the gate of joy. So this whole channel is about finding joy despite adversity. So clearly there's a lot of adversity dreams coming through that. And the 8th gate of darkness, well, it's all about finding the light in the darkness. So again, there's a lot of darkness and adversity. So he's going to have that for more than 1 year and 3 months, which is quite a price to pay for simply sleeping with your partner. Notwithstanding the fact that they also have this electromagnetic channel. Beyonce has the 57, just like Prince Charles in that other video, and Jay-Z has the 20 coming together, forming the channel of the brainwave, this channel that wakes them up. So that's running all of the time. Beyonce's being conditioned by this generative preservation channel, so her sacral's on all of the time. So this is naturally a manifesting generator connection. So again, Beyonce is in the same boat as Camilla in the other video. She's a reflector. Ordinarily, she's designed to have a very easy night's sleep, plus transit impacts now and again. After this Uranus is moved on, it may be a very long time before she gets another long transit impact. So it really is worth paying attention relative to your connection to this transit chart, because even if you are two reflectors coming together and there are no electromagnetic channels and you have a sleeping reflector connection, well, the moment a transit comes along, maybe one of the reflectors has the 1st gate, the 8th gate is now triggered for more than a year, and the other reflector is now going to be impacted by that energy unnecessarily. So there's no escape just having two reflectors together that form a reflector connection. The transit field is going to get you via the connection anyway. You can also see here, because of this electromagnetic, the 2057, both of their throat centers are activated. The 8th gate also activates the throat center, but it wouldn't have done for Jay-Z. And thus the throat center for both people is active, and that means the 62nd gate, the portal gate for the light field, is active. That's the 5th line with Mercury. So that's a faster moving activation. Mercury only spends about a day and a half in one gate and moves through a line about every quarter of a day. So that won't be hanging around too long. But nonetheless, there is an impact when you wake up in the morning. That 62, the chemistry of tryptophan will pass through into both of the waking designs of these two. It will also affect the 31 that's part of that codon family. The 8th gate will also affect both of them. A relatively small codon group, this one, phenylalanine, but it has a significant codon partner here, the 2nd gate. This is where the magnetic monopole resides in our waking design, and this is the gate of direction, unique mutative direction. So clearly that's going to be significantly impacted for more than a year. And if we look at their waking design, you can see the impact of this. The 1st gate in Beyonce Knowles' design, the codon partner is the 14. Well, lo and behold, both of them have the 14 in their waking design. So whenever that 1st gate is active in the sleeping design, it's also impacting the 14th gate when they wake up. Part of Beyonce Knowles' inner authority is being attacked there. And part of Jay-Z's inner authority is also being impacted. And you can see that Beyonce also has this channel of inspiration when she is awake, and yet she only has the 1st gate when she's sleeping normally. So this is a good example of weak point conditioning. The program is trying to undermine faith in one's channel. It takes it away at night, re-implements that in the day, and occasionally through the transit field you're going to get distortion coming through. So the 8th gate end of that is now distorted relative to that channel of inspiration, and the foundation of that is also impacted through the codon transference of the 1st gate. And all of that's impacting JC, and you can see he's got no channel of inspiration, but that entire channel will now activate his self-center. He is somebody that's always looking for love, direction and identity, and of course this unique inspiration is going to become something that his mind hangs on to, along with that rhythm channel that is coming courtesy of Beyonce as well. And in terms of weak point conditioning, well, you can see that Jay-Z has the channel of preservation in the day as well and at night. So this is another good example of focusing on a channel and have the dreams distort that channel, so that when the mind wakes up in the morning, it will take that distortion from the sleeping environment and apply that to mental decisions during the day. So he's going to have an unusual relationship to preservation, to caring, to responsibility, the 27 and the 50, as he tries to prove worth, avoids conflict and truth, looks for love, direction and identity, tries to draw attention to his words and actions as he moves as quickly as possible, being under pressure. So given that this is the critical inner authority for Jay-Z, it's no wonder that the program is trying to undermine his faith in it. And the program is also impacting Beyonce via the codon transfer and the first gate's relationship to the 14, and the 8th gate's relation to the 2 when that comes along is going to distort the potential direction that is powered by that 14. So in summary here, if Jay-Z and Beyonce were not sleeping together, well, Jay-Z wouldn't be impacted by this transit at all. He wouldn't be impacted by this electromagnetic brainwave channel, and he would simply have this sleeping design running with no transit impact at all. And Beyonce, well, she's going to have Uranus impacting that inspiration channel, but it's something that she can handle. And if it wasn't for all of this other noise, the sacral and the spleen, well, she could easily wake up in the morning as herself, remind herself that she is this powerful, pure manifesting generator that responds in the now. And of course, even though the inner authority center of Beyonce is impacted by this transit and codon transference, well, the inner authority itself pays no attention. It might take advantage of transit activations, but it's certainly not going to be swayed by it. The mind is swayed by this chemistry. And of course, any decisions that are being made are relative to the openness and the design anyway. Beyonce is another one trying to prove her worth, will blame others if she cannot do that. Open channels in her heart center, avoiding conflict and truth. So this is a relationship that avoids a lot of things. She holds on to things that aren't good for her for too long, with that particular focus on the 44, the fear of the past, and more like the fear of past failures coming back to haunt one. And of course, all mixed up with thinking about things that don't matter in this pressure sandwich, as she's in a hurry to get rid of pressure in the root too. And also her inner authority is somewhat remote, being unconsciously activated, but it doesn't mean it's not there. It's something you just need to pay attention to physically. How do I feel? Are there noises coming out even though I can't identify with it as me? If she follows that, then none of this conditioning is going to impact her. But if she doesn't, well, all of the distortion in the waking connection and the sleeping connection and the sleeping transit field and the waking transit field is going to impact her mind significantly. And if you're a not self person, well, it's your mind making the decisions, and thus the program is pulling the strings. So in terms of navigation here, it's exactly the same as the sleep connection talking chart, but you now have the addition of transit channels. These are indicated in purple on this chart down the bottom there. You can see the 1-8 channel. That's a channel activated by the transit itself. So in effect, it's an electromagnetic between Beyonce and the transit field. And you can see these purple activations in the gate line grids are also transit activations as at now. and every time you come back here, something will have changed in terms of the transit. That Mercury will go away to be replaced by something else. In a year's time, Uranus will move on and impact somewhere else, and so on. So, thanks very much, and bye for now.